I'd punch you, but it really smarts. Ow.
Well, Athena, they've been pretty diligent about sticking to this triple tank setup. MVP Infinity probably going to switch off this Bastion. Nope, they're not. It's going to be attack Bastion.
Nice. I love it. All right, one back on the Bastion. He's going to get spotted right away, though. And we'll see how this one goes. I think they're going to try to set him up behind the Reinhardt shield and fire down this corridor, maybe.
I mean, they have.
You can rush him onto the high ground sometimes. This is a strategy you used to see it, but you haven't seen it for a while.
I mean, against all the tanks, though, you think it's pretty good, but
not
going to do much.
Well, you know, thumbs up to you, MVP Infinity. Good try. Way to be. You know, here's the thing.
Good show.
I haven't seen that for like 4 months or something at least, but yeah, you used to be able to just rush the Bastion right up there and unload, but
well,
you know, especially if you're not anticipating your opponent playing like a Genji or something, it can work, but it's like you try it once, if it doesn't work, you gotta switch, and that's what they're doing.
I mean, I like the aggression that we saw from Meta Athena. They weren't having any of that, getting right in there at the top choke point. But the comp itself was interesting, right? You have a Zarya and a Reinhardt shield, and they had the D.Va as well to try and just protect and prevent that damage from coming down.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Wow, Saya player and Undyne just destroys Easy Bro there, or Saya player and Nuss rather.
Yeah, Nuss. Wow, I mean, that was very easily shut down. Now, they knew there was a soldier, so it's interesting to me that they would commit Easy Bro alone to pop up and try and get that kill. Okay, Nuss is just going to pretty terribly split spawn Undyne right there.
Oh, Meta Athena got, again, you know, really aggressive on the defense, and they hunted down people a little bit more aggressively than you see a lot of times. Made him pay for it, for sure.
Man, Meta Athena read that Bastion attack with so much protection for that Bastion so quickly. I'm very impressed with their decisiveness of their shot calling so far tonight.
Well, I mean, they had the right thing for it, right? They had the Winston, they had the Zarya shield. They had a lot of shields. They could just throw it right on it. And speaking of shields, here's one fact, rolling in with the nano boost. A shield of sorts, I suppose. Meanwhile, Saya player posting up on the other side, having no trouble at all taking down Breck, and MVP Infinity just getting absolutely nowhere with these pushes.
I just don't know what their strategy is right now, because the only person who can actually get over to deal with one fact, like with the soldier right now, it's just like, if there's not a lot going on. Saya player is getting so much room just to shoot, and they need some sort of dive to actually take him off the far side of the point.
We're gonna have to try something. Going in now. Meanwhile, Athena has a lot of ults to work with. They're going to use the Graviton Surge around with that sound barrier. Keeps that nano boosted Reinhardt from causing any trouble. Already 2 kills for Meta Athena as they clean it up. Self trying to heal people desperately on this Mercy. Doesn't have the ult though. I think he just used it actually. It didn't really get a whole lot from it. Meanwhile, Saya player trying to hold on here. It's close. MVP Infinity. Oh, they may have a chance here.
Yeah, caught up by a wayward bullet. Everybody was behind the actual pillars on the top of that point, so he couldn't get much value out of his ultimate. They were spamming the doorway. And they actually turned this one around.
Whoa, Reinhardt makes an explosive entrance, but I don't think he wanted to go in that far. Whoops.
Surprising that they were able to actually pull that off. MVP Infinity is going to last here. 40 seconds left on the clock. They're still trying to drag this out as long as they can. There we go. Point captured. Now we'll move into the escort phase. Easy Bro still sticking onto this Pharah.
They didn't leave MVP Infinity with a ton of time to push this payload. So Meta Athena, you know, they delayed for a fairly long time. Nice sleep dart there onto Breck. That's going to slow things down a little bit. They're going to go ahead and use the nano boost, and that's a charge. Breck not going to survive that. And Alpha looking for more victims. Great Earth Shatter. Should be able to pick up 2 or 3 with this. Yes, he does. Goodbye supports. And Meta Athena, man, I love these aggressive defensive fights they've been taking. Sure, they lost point A eventually, but they brought it down nearly to overtime. I mean, their defense has been solid so far.
Yeah, and they know what to do too. It's interesting because they come back from the spawn and they set up while the payload is slowly moving out, get that Ana in a great position for sleep darting. We've seen moves like that from MV before. Chips has shown some impressive flanking sleep darts at times against Reinhardt's, and we're going to get it again here. Great setup, and it really does buy them quite a bit of time.
All right, why not? As that Graviton Surge, didn't want to use it. He had the defense matrix in his face. That's a hard sentence to say. Should not have gone with that one. Doesn't matter though. MVP Infinity forced all the way back to spawn. Yeah, like literally all the way back to spawn. Uh-oh, there's a Graviton Surge now. Where's the follow-up? MVP Infinity looking for some kills here. They get a couple. Athena's got to back away. One fact doing a little bit more damage, and now that payload's going to roll, and I think Athena may have over-pursued just a bit there.
So if you're going to try and actually play that spawn, what you have to do is just spam the doorway, and they got caught with a Graviton Surge, and then a bit of, I think, a panic there from Hoon as they dropped another Graviton Surge. So they were sitting on top of each other, but not going to get the better end of that deal, and because of that defense, they basically just give up point 2 for free, so over-aggressive for sure.
There's a fine line between good aggressive defense and over-aggressive. One fact, using the tac visor there. Saya player, though, finding one on Easy Bro himself.
Actually, they may be able to hold this.
Maybe, we'll see. It's a bit of a brawl right now for sure, but One Fact does have the high ground. MVP Infinity with a better geographical position here, and yeah, I think with Easy Bro floating around that Pharah, they should be able to get this payload moving at some point.
Setting up a nice crossfire right there, giving Reinhardt not enough
there we go.
to work with, and they delay him for quite a long time. Some movement here on the payload can be expected, but only 2 minutes remaining for MVP to push it the rest of the way.
That's right. Libero on the Pharah now for Meta Athena. We have seen him play that hero in the past. And it's kind of like we were saying, you know, they're going to have to swap it up a bit. Easy Bro sneaking around the side. He's got that barrage, so perhaps no real combos to work with as they don't have any other ults. No CC ults to pair with that. But if he comes in from behind, you can still get a good ult. That's exactly what he's going to try to do. Sneaky Pharah coming in. Goes for the barrage, and did it work out? He got Alpha. They needed a bit more, but the payload's moving. That may have just been enough. Yeah, it did a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, he got Hoon low enough, too, for One Fact actually just to go ahead and finish him off. The payload's still rolling, so MVP Infinity, after that over-aggression from Meta Athena and some bad split spawns, they have sort of given up the entire rest of the map.
On One Fact, ready to go with the tac visor again, keeping Meta Athena pinned down in their spawn. Alpha was able to walk forward. There's the tac visor now. He needs to use it to try to clear the members of Meta Athena out of the way. Has to deal with the Pharah, though, at the same time. Saya player coming in with his own tac visor, gets one onto Sylph.
Yeah, Nano Boost timing really unfortunate there.
Yep.
Onto One Fact because he had just finished his ultimate and was reloading for a lot of the time that he had that Nano Boost and couldn't actually find any targets. The value of the Nano Boost from Meta Athena onto Alpha significantly higher.
Wow. It would be pretty tragic for MVP Infinity to push it that far and not complete those 3 points.
I mean, does happen all the time on Doom Bonnie, so.
It does, but they were so close, and you feel like a little bit more patience with the ults might have been able to help them do it. Why Not comes in with the Graviton Surge now, wanting to win a big fight here, but there's the sound barrier. Ooh, Meta Athena managed to slaughter MVP Infinity.
That was a bit of a desperation Graviton Surge. It was really easy. Of course, as time's running out here, they had to do it, but very easy to counteract with the sound barrier and the 2 Zarya shields that went up during the Graviton. So, nice hold Sylph going on.
No overtime.
A secret mission.
Tried. They
onto the cart.
Now Lucio's never going to play that concert that's being advertised in Bonnie. Oh, what a tragedy.
It's a go back onto the Pharah, and not going to see the Widowmaker, unfortunately.
Let's see what we see. VP Infinity with a pretty normal triple tank defense coming in as Saya player walks forward. Takes a bit of damage, but he gets the heals, of course, and Libero back on that Pharah once more. MVP Athena kind of splitting up a little bit, looping around the side.
Yeah, being very cautious, trying to scout this one out first. Pharah going to come up over the back. No Soldier. Looks like they're using the positioning right there is great because he was using the pillar to block the angle that the Soldier would have had from the far side of the opposite point.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Saya player under a little bit of pressure here on the side. MVP Infinity a little bit scattered. Saya player, though, has to avoid the Winston, and it's tough to do that.
This was significantly better executed.
Yeah.
Coming in.
It's pretty decent. And it looks like Meta Athena not going to quite be able to take the point here, but they did claim a lot of victims in the process. Hoon going to be pretty badly split spawned, it looks like.
He's going to try and avoid that bait, but he may have just got it even worse than before, down to the clothing shop down on the far side.
Ouch.
So quickly taken out, and it'll be a long, long wait, but see him going back in nearly immediately.
Well, MVP Infinity didn't really set up their defense as organized as they would have normally. That's 1 kill already for Saya player. Pops Why Not out of the mech. And Libero's got a pretty decent angle on the side here. Whoa, hi!
Okay.
Winston has leapt up to say hello.
Yeah, Libero actually killing himself right there with splash damage from a rocket.
Fun times.
Attack Visor is available. EasyBro still working his way up, so a small window of time here for Athena to work with.
Yep, Hoon's so low already. One fact popping him out of the mech. And they're going to look for a few more kills. Saya player has Attack Visor going. Wow, and One fact just wrecking people on this Roadhog right now. Not even having to use that whole hog. Athena coming back with a couple kills themselves. Hook misses there. And now it's time to Primal Rage. Okay, Libero tries to push the monkey off the edge of the cliff, but can't quite do it. And Athena fighting to try to take point A here. There's a barrage.
Oh,
a lot of it is Zoida. Oh, but Undyne pops up again. And that did not work out super well. MVP Infinity still holding this payload, but a minute 45 left for Athena.
Yeah, Libero actually is going to switch to May right there. Already planning, I think, to swap that one out. He's the last one left. Obviously not going to cap that point. So tries for the barrage, but instantly devoured by the defense matrix. MVP Infinity actually looking great now in terms of their ult economy. They've got a lot coming up in just a little bit. 3 up now.
Yep. Hoon pulled in. Whoa, boy. Oh, man. I thought, oh, yeah, One fact did end up falling off there at the end, I think. Just caught a fire strike at the same time. EasyBro on his own. Up on the second floor here, he has to avoid Saya player coming from the side from that 76. MVP Infinity is trying to hold the point right now. Libero on this May. We saw him play a lot of it in Challenger earlier, but hasn't played a ton of it yet in this league. He's going to have to take the dive, and MVP holding again. Athena has basically one push remaining if they want to try to take this.
Yeah, Saya player has Attack Visor, but he's going to die right at the end right there. Not much time to work with. Libero actually switching to the Reaper, so trying to bust through One fact. Looks like really going to try and target that Roadhog and deal with the Winston as well. But man, no May ult. It's about 54%. Might have had time to get that Blizzard up, but now he's going for the immediate punch, the immediate firepower against these tanks with Reaper.
Here they come, just bulldozing up the hallway, but that's a self-destruct sent in right away. Gonna get Alpha. Wow, Reinhardt out of the way already. And One fact does fall, but Libero died before that too, so Athena, it's going to be really hard for them to take this point. 20 seconds left, Blind Hook doesn't connect, and MVP Infinity looking at a good chance of tying up this series here on Nimbani.
Yeah, Infinity actually is set up very nicely on the far side of the point right now. Alpha's going to take some damage right as he comes in. Hoon trying to break through.
Yep, trying what he can, but he's got a nano-boosted Winston to deal with Saya player on the side, but a lot of that getting blocked by the defense matrix. He has to back away. One fact gets a kill. He's on Tracer now. Want to get back in time. And it does not look like Athena is going to be taking this point. Chris trying to survive as long as he can on the payload, but that's not going to work out. Overtime's gone, and MVP Infinity will tie up this series.
Why not have had such great positioning on that Diva throughout that entire point? Yeah, really impressive stuff from him. He constantly was shutting down the Soldier and making sure, eating that entire barrage as well. So really doing a great job of covering for his teammates. And the Infinity, surprisingly, they couldn't win a hybrid or an